Welcome to another lesson, understanding the infinite limitless, our infinite self. So our human experience now is split in infinite amount of timelines. Each decision in our life split itself into a different earth, a different timeline. On top of living all those timelines, we are living a similar consciousness in another universe. So that's the concept of the multiverse. On top of that, we are having all our past life. We're having all our future life, and then we have all the evolution of the soul through the densities from becoming a being a rock to a tree to an animal to a human being to higher density beings like Pleiadians, Arcturians to next level after that, eventually becoming uh, beings of light. And all this somehow is happening in the infinite present moment, in the infinite now that is tap into the silence of the heart center. It's almost like the universe, the expansion and contraction has been created like this, and then in this fraction of now, all this is happening as an evolution and cycle of life, and then the higher self, the sixth density being, is overlooking all those possibilities. He's almost the mastermind. He's like there, almost like sitting in his chair of light, and then guiding, dreaming about all that, and then he's being the king, basically the king archetype, the embodying the spirit in all those possibilities, those fragment of itself. More and more, we see movies about the multiverse, amazing movies here, everything, everywhere, all at once, and Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. There's so much hidden messages there. More and more that we see those messages, more and more we can tap into those possibilities in a deep transcendental meditation or in our dream. Personally, more and more in my dreams, I'm tapping into my different timelines of this reincarnation, and they are just mirror of what we need to transmute, process in our current experience. So each time we explore a past life, a timeline, a future life, a star seed life, it's just a form of communication. It's a language for the universe to reflect back on, hey, you need to embody more this archetype. Look how it looks like. What is the highest potential? For example, like me, I'm channeling more lately my white lion self, Zach, embodying the depth of the warrior archetype, embodying the depth of the king archetype, embodying the expression of the truth. More and more that I'm gonna embody that, less and less I'm gonna be seeing it, hearing it, or connecting with it, because I'm gonna become fully it, right? So that's why we connect with those different fragments of our consciousness. And naturally, as we fully embody it, we finish that cycle of evolution. It's almost like we change timeline, and then it's almost like those lives that we were connected with are not even real anymore because they merge with us. In the show The OA, there's a lot of messages about changing timeline, which they say it's a different dimension. I think the way they portray it, it's more like a shift of of um, of the same self in another universe. It's There's a bit of distortion there, but it's fascinating how they show the possibilities of light language through body light language, opening portals using sacred geometry. She's even channeling an octopus in one episode. Fascinating, I love it. There's so much messages, hidden messages here and there, and it's just those shows. What they do is they allow us to change the collective consciousness more and more, and more that we believe as a collective, more and more it's going to become a reality. We are changing the reality, manifesting the reality as a collective consciousness. In the movie Mr. Nobody, the oldest man alive in the future, he's sharing his life before he dies, and he's the last mortal to die on Earth. Amazing movie, one of my favorite movie. Also, it was filmed in Montreal, where I'm from, so there's something with this movie. And while he shared his life, he ended up sharing three different life. And then the message of the movie is like, so the interviewer asks, so which one was the real life? And then the message like, they're all real. They're all the same, like, experience of consciousness. Yes, in one time, like you take a decision and then you end up marry one person. Another time you take a decision, you end up having like kids with one person. In this other decision, you end up living in this other countries. But somehow all those life are being experienced all at once. And then if you can tap into it through your subconscious mind and then live through your mind all those life and then get lessons from all those life. But the real message is like, it doesn't matter which choice we take because all roads are leading to the same direction, to the way back home. To There's a way back home for this life, but there's a way back home for the soul, which is back into the central sun, right? We're way back home into, after this life we're going back into this celestial realm of souls, right, where we are assessing our reincarnations. But in the end of the evolution of the soul, we're going back and merging, giving ourselves back into the central sun. So Joe Dispenza explained a lot this example here, the 4 minute mile. This person was the first person to break the 4 minute mile, and not so long after, everyone was breaking it. So it's almost like, as human, we need to see that, hey, it's possible, and then somehow there's something changing in our DNA, in our genes, in our belief, and then boom, right away we embody it. The collective consciousness starts changing. So I believe that if we start seeing more and more enlightened being living 500 years old, being able to levitate, being able to teleport themselves, doing bilocation, more and more there's going to be a big shift, and more people are going to start doing those things. And I think it's going to happen in our life because since 2012, we shift uh, density. We started the new density, the fourth density, and they say the transition is going to last between 100 700 years. There's also timelines where like it's less than that. It's going to happen in our timeline. Who knows exactly what's going to happen? One thing for sure is there's going to be a lot of enlightenment beings, a lot of enlightened humans are going to start embodying publicly those traits of the masters. This is the age for that, showing publicly the potential without being targeted by the dark side, because now we're even more protected by the light side, since it has been voted by the Council of Nine that we are transitioning towards the fourth density positive. Right? So more and more all the service to self, dark side system in place, which is all the system in place, are going to be breaking, and more we're going to be rebirthing a new era of collective system, cooperation, decentralized system. So if we start believing and seeing all those possibilities of shooting fire out of our hands, opening portals, levitating, uh, playing playing with the different element, air bending, water, fire, earth, whatever, the schools are gonna become, you know, like like environment where we teach our kids to practice those things. That's how they do it in higher dimension, higher densities, and everything is gonna be focused on that, on being an alchemist, on managing energy, moving energy, and playing with energy, and playing with our thought, creating and using our mind power. So there's a lot of example in those books here. The life teaching of the master of Farhar is, it's 11 masters. They show their abilities and the autobiography of the yogi. The this book, Journey Out of the Body, share all his stories of lifetime experiencing of doing astral projection, splitting his physical body with his astral body, which is also known as the etheric double, the ka body, that is very very similar looking than this body, but then link into a silver cord. We use this etheric body every night unconsciously as we are all traveling while sleeping. And then this book, The Land of the Gods, where Miss Blavatsky is sharing her experience going to Chambala for 1 day. She was received by the master. She met the king, and she was shown different alchemy uh, practices to improve her consciousness, her energy, her lifestyle. She couldn't stay more than 1 day as her physical body was not high frequency enough to sustain that high energy. We did a vortex to go visit. It was fascinating. It felt like Doctor Strange, where it's just there's a secret library holding all the books in the world. There's a hall of meditation where they are all practicing levitating and playing with energy. It's all the colors are super bright, and they are all living in this kind of like transparent dome that is protecting them from this physical earth, and then not being seen from us, right? But it's here on earth physically. So from all those possibilities, all those timelines, there's one version of you that is living it, right? So you need to go see in this library, this kit store of possibilities, and take that possibilities, and then you send your request, and then somehow embody it in your heart to attract it, to become it, right? So you need to fully go deep in the meditation, and have all your cells, all your chakra vibrating in currents that you're vibrating so high, close to singularity. And then at that point, you're living this experience, and then you're going to be embodying it. You're going to be shifting timeline towards it. And as I said, there's going to be a grand awakening, and then there's going to be a massive Kundalini. Everyone's going to be having Kundalini awakening, but not just um, like a simple one, not a simple one, but like a full blown awakening where like everyone's gonna be embodying their Kundalini, right? Everyone had some kind of like Kundalini awakening, but there's different levels of it. When it goes all the way up into the crown, and then we explode the 1,000 lotus flower, that's really like at that point we embody the depth of this power, and then we use this power to have all those abilities, and then we can start using all this to start manifesting, and we need to start believing in all those things to really start attracting those possibilities, right? So Joe Dispenza shared this story in the retreat of him 1 day feeling that he needed a big reboot. So he walk in the mountains, and then he go meditate all day, creating currents in all the chakra, enlightening his kundalini. And he felt that he went so deep into his meditation. At the end of the day, 8 hours later, he's so proud of himself, walk back down the mountain, and then he's like happy and joyful. And then he's thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna go celebrate having this wine that I have at home, merged with this perfect cheese that I have at home. It would be a perfect fit for the wine." But he was like, "Oh, it would be so nice to have this bread also." And out of nowhere, this perfect bread that he was thinking about is falling from the sky, and out of like just normality for him, he pick it up and continue to go back home. So he shared this story. You can believe in it or not. That's a story of instant manifestation. How do we do instant manifestation? Somehow we cannot control instant manifestation because it needs to come out of the unknown. We need to remove any type of attachment. We need to allow the universe to surprise us. right? And those are a very similar story to the stories of Jesus creating bread, changing water into wine. In the book, the Magdalene Manuscript, Magdalene share also those stories, and they're just common stories of enlightened beings that embody fully their Kundalini, that it rise all the way up. They merge with the dark dimension, the dark feminine, and they embody all the possibilities of being a human, meaning that we can live hundreds and hundreds of years, and then we can buy location, we can teleport, we can materialize things. But on the journey of becoming those things, there's gonna be little glimpse of you of potential. Like this story of Joe Spencer, it was being shown, hey, this is a potential. Like you're almost there. Continue the work, right? Another great story that he shares is same one day he went deep into a meditation, and then he felt he was vibrating so fast, close to singularity, and then he just wanted to play around, and he said, "Okay, I want to manifest some red roses." And the next morning, I think it was like winter time or something, and he realized there was a branch in the tree in front of his house that was about to fall, and maybe hit some cars passing by. So he went up into the tree, and then with a saw end up cutting the branch. But somehow, as he was cutting the branch, there's a little truck passing by, like a very whole truck passing by, and then the truck stopped just under the branch. So he's like, okay, what's going on? Like, why you put yourself there? Like you're gonna receive the branch as I am cutting it. So he stopped, and then he go back down, and he's a bit like wondering what's going on. And this old lady is like not saying one word, going in the back of the truck, opening the truck, and turning around and serving a box of red roses. And then the way he explained the story, it's so funny. He's such a good storyteller. And then at the end, it's like she smiled with her missing teeth, and she said, "Don't ask me why," and then she leave right away. So fascinating stories. He also shares stories of people coming to his seminars that are manifesting the ATM raining money, and then somehow they don't even take the money because they feel so abundant, they don't need it, so they just let the people around taking the money. They He's also sharing people able to change, materialize a new number in their bank account without receiving money, right? Without really like manifesting anything. It's just instant materialization, instant manifestation, changing the number in your bank account, somehow cracking the code of the physical matrix. So those are things that are possible only if you really believe in it, right? It start by believing it. It start by breaking the 4 minute mile. So our job is to uh, don't try to heal, don't try to fix your finance. This is limited mindset. Try to really reach your highest potential, and naturally, as a domino effect, you're going to become financially free, you're going to become abundance in all the layers, right? See your life as an initiation. You're going through different step in your initiation to become a master, to become the next Christ, right? There's going to be so much Christ in this Christ consciousness embodiment coming very soon on earth. And then don't focus on money, focus on healing hearts, right? Healing hearts, helping people opening their heart. That's the depth of serving to others. More that you serve others, more that you open hearts, more that you grow your polarization, more that you grow your polarization, more that you become a master. And that's it. Thank you so much. Journal about this. What do you think it's possible? What do you believe in? Do more research. Break your belief. Break your belief. Everything is possible. Have fun.